You're listening to the voice of IWA Flip here on Interfed Radio. And today's guest, man, I don't even know how to introduce this guy because if I had one manager to, that's pretty much kept me in the game, it would have to be this gentleman here, Eric Bugg. Eric, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Flip. Thanks for the kind words, man.
Oh shit, man! Like I said, saying gotta keep it 100, like they say, man. Because I said you've kept me in this game, and like I said, I think we've piggybacked off of one another throughout the years. Like I said, I know at times we've been in and out at different times, but I said, yeah, I definitely credit you for this last comeback and for all the support that that we've had. I guess that we've given one another over this last stay right now.
I was about to say it goes both ways. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you.
Oh man! Now today we're talking MML. I know it's our it's one of our leagues that we kind of had a nice stronghold on, and it kind of allowed for this current eruption or current status or current state of the Interfed, and a lot of Eric's characters from the MML have spread themselves out throughout the IWA, and we're going to continue to follow Eric's the mind, I guess the man behind the mind, or how would you say it?
The madness to the
the mind behind the madness. There we go.
There you go.
And like I said, right now, so he's moved over to the ASL, but we'll get to that in a bit. Now, when we started our MML project, Eric, I remember just the thoughts running through our heads, and of course, I had my 3 shows, and one of the things when I had Brandon on in one of the earlier episodes talking MML, we've completely forgot to mention the pay-per-view side of the MML during that state, and Eric at the time was running the Face-Off pay-per-view in the MML, which was on top of the 3 shows that we had running. Just added its own flavor, added its own taste, and I mean, shoot, Eric. I mean, I've said it before on here. From one day to the next. I mean, I remember your graphics from back in 2012.
I didn't have graphics in 2012.
Exactly. And I remember this from one day to the next. It just I'm like, holy shit, Eric. Yeah, like. He was not. I mean, his pages rivaled any of that are out there in the game, and I'm like, I mean, what led you to the new graphics? What was that?
That was you.
What was that path?
That was you. I was like, I'm sick of looking at this guy's stuff and having to do text-based trash talk. I'm gonna figure out how to do this. So I opened up Microsoft Paint and I started playing with it.
Nice. And you know what? You're not the only one in the game that uses Microsoft Paint. I know a lot of the other managers, dibble and dabble with it. I know. It was Big Marchand was on here. He said he's also a big fan of Paint.
I tell you, man, I think about every week I find a new mechanic in the program that I can use. And as soon as I do learn something like that, I just immediately start implementing it everywhere. Like when I learned how to do the, what do they call it when you fade your color from one side to the other?
The little blends.
Yeah, the blends, Once I learned how to do those, it was like, all right, I'm going to do these in everything. And then, of course, you helped me with everything. You told me to use PNGs. I was just taking JPEGs and just doing solid white backgrounds. But I was watching you and learning from you and getting what advice I could from you. And, yeah, it didn't take long. It didn't take long at all. The first few were kind of crappy, and I just gradually got better and better. And now I'm trying to stay away from it as much. I try to just go with one image of a wrestler and just roll with that now.
Now, I mean, we were talking off air, and you brought up the new WWL. Can we talk about the new WWL?
Oh, absolutely, man. It was a great looking report. I'd never, I hadn't heard of it. I think I saw a promo for it that it was coming and starting up. And today,
now, anyone out there, if you haven't looked at the new WWL report, stop this and go take a look, because I mean it's going to open up a whole new ball game. It really is. I mean, you talk about innovation. If the W if I'm over here trying to say the WWE, if the IWA is going to open themselves up to allowing commissioners to alter the front page and the back page the way the WWL has, I'm pumped. I mean, I never like I said before I got on here with Eric, like I said, it was off my radar. I didn't even imagine something like that was possible.
Yeah, I opened it up, and when I saw the front page of the bulletin was red and yellow, I was like, whoa, what is this? I had never seen anything like this. And I scrolled through, and the bulletin was normal and stuff. And then I got to the back page where the hold values are, and it was red and yellow again. And I just noticed little graphics and stuff that weren't normally in the bulletin on the cover and stuff. It was really cool. I'd never seen that before, and kind of interested in how that came about.
Now the commissioner there, from what I can tell, is Melvin
Mayhem.
Melvin Mayhem. Okay, Melvin Mayhem. And I mean, I I recognize the style, so I'm not gonna. It's not the first time I've seen it, but this time around, I mean, he knocked it out of the park, man. Some great pages. I mean, if you haven't peeked, definitely go take a look at the WWL.
Agreed.
Oh yeah. Now, bringing it back to our stuff here, like I said, I just wanted to give them a plug because, yeah, like I said, anytime I see something that's worthy of it, definitely got to plug it on here. But back to our stuff in the MML, Eric. Your face-off stuff. I mean, obviously we had our own title. I remember it. It pretty much came to its. Who was that at the end? Nemo versus the Bunny King.
I believe that's what it was. Nemo versus the Bunny King. Rabbit versus dog.
Oh man, and that was Eric ran a tournament there. What was it? How many fighters in total did we have in that one? I completely forgot.
I think it was just 16.
A 16 tournament down to it.
Yeah.
What was it? And we had a prize for that one, right? Who won that one? It was Brandon, right?
Yeah, Bunny King won it, and it was two $12 match deals.
That nice. That's what I remember. I remember it was a nice.
I told you I was going to put one up, and you said you match me.
Oh yeah, I mean, and yeah, like I said, we've had our.
That was really the first prize that we really gave out in the MML at that time.
Yeah, we weren't. Like I said, we were still. I mean, I say this all the time. I'm still pretty naive to the game, and like I said, that was just one of those things that we, kind of like a little incentive, and that went. I thought it went well. I mean,
and sure, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we started that tournament with the Secret Santa Tag Team Extravaganza.
Ah, yeah, there we go.
I did the random draw tag team matches, and the winners of those matches all advanced to the singles tournament.
Right now that you're saying that, I still remember the Dead Man and Rampage getting all pissed off at work because like, why did he put us against one another?
It was legitimate random draw.
Oh man, I told him, I go, hey, it's not set up, brother. It's it was, hey, don't get mad. Don't get mad. I go, I guarantee you, it wasn't rigged.
It was random draw, and I did it right here at work on Facebook. Rob was with me.
I remember it was live.
It's like every 2 minutes I was posting up the next team.
Oh man, that takes me back, but it really does, man. I mean, I remember when we got started with this. There's a lot of ideas going by, in terms of our characters.
I had no clue what I was doing. I told you, I said, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do with these guys. And you were like, you said, well, I'm running 3 shows. Why don't you run a show? And I was like, okay, I can do that.
Oh yeah.
And I remember the first one was just one flyer, just like you were doing. And then the next cycle, I had the next flyer, but I had the results to the old flyer. And then like 3 cycles later, I've got a 16-page write-up to a show.
And that was the beauty of it, man. I mean, that's the one thing I keep telling Brandon and Sean that, that lacked in my report because I wanted to do write-ups and I wanted to do results, but I was so caught up with the next bulletin that it just, I tried my hardest, and like I said, I wish I would have presented more results with it, but yeah, your stuff was just banging, man. I remember reading all the match write-ups and, I mean, it was complete.
it was complete. It takes me back to the big episode, the big issue that we did.
Oh yeah.
I think I had like 16 or 17 pages in the report. You had about 16 or 17 pages in the report.
I mean, and I'll tell you like this. I mean, I remember approaching or asking Kim, and like, hey, what's the limit? Like, how many pages can I have in my report? And she's all like, 16. I was like, oh man, that sucks, And then I was like, but they're not going to restrict my manager's trash talks. Then and then oh yeah, it worked out so perfect, man. But once she's actually saw it, she's all like, hey, we can't have these big issues like this all the time.
You know why, don't you? When I got mine in the mail, I think the postage that they paid to send it to me was more than what I paid for the league that cycle anyway. It was like $10 postage on it.
Oh yeah, it's like, unless all your managers are go green, yeah, let's restrict it.
I'll never go green.
Oh man, I went that route just because I mean I ran out of file room, man. I had no idea what to do with more bulletins, man. So I reluctantly went green. I was just like, you know what? Yeah, if not, I'm going to end up making a bulletin castle somewhere, and I wanted to avoid that. I got enough stuff going on with all my print shop stuff that I have in here.
I got to do it, man. I pay way too much money, and I don't get anything back in return. So I need those pieces of paper, man.
Oh yeah, and speaking of those pieces of paper, like I said, we definitely got to talk to Kim about revamping some of these bulletins, because.
Yeah,
I'm jealous right now. As I sit here, I'm really, really jealous.
How about the Lucha Gore main event?
Oh yeah, we had the best of seven. Had the best of seven series going with Dracon and King Flip. We had Skywalker, who was getting harassed by Dirty Work. At the same time, we had
El Mas Fantastico and Malik the Mad.
Oh yeah, we had that. I'm just thinking of angles that me and you had. I mean, because like I said, we had so much going on. I mean, we also had the infection angle going on Friday Night Mayhem with the cats.
The Wildcats got infected by the virus.
Oh yeah. I mean, you had that one going on. So I mean, we had characters in every single show pretty much.
Yeah, and I even told you, I was like, man, I have nothing to do with Grady White, man. Do you think you can stick him on one of your shows for me?
Oh yeah, I mean,
he had a great run too.
He did, yeah. He was rocking it, and when you decided to take him on tour throughout the Interfed, I mean, like I said, it was still in its. We're still doing our trial and error stuff, just, trying to test the waters out here. And
the Respect Tour.
Oh, yeah. So we had some good times with a lot of these fighters. And
I think we overworked Grady too hard on that one. Ended up having a heart attack.
Oh, man. You know what? I think when you ran that one, the AWL commissioner, Will Wisdom, he's all like, did you guys just kill off a character? And I was like, yeah, Will, sorry about that. He's like, dude, that's morbid. That's
he was a big overweight wrestler. I mean, and he's working off his ass off in 6 beds. I mean, what do you expect?
Oh yeah, I mean, especially those that knew Grady White. Like I said, he was a hard worker,
And it was all about respect for him, The very first day he walked in the door, it was about respect.
Oh man! Now, I mean, we worked the Facebook. We worked not Facebook. We worked Face Off. Pretty much to the for a whole year, pretty much, right?
A good 10 or 11 cycles.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, the first few were kind of short, just a couple flyers. But then I started the 2 interview segments, the 4 match write-ups, the stats page. I can't remember what else we had in there. It was a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean the preview to the next one. It was, like I said, it was complete. Yeah. Just all the images,
and that was the hardest part of it, is finding images for guys who don't have images for their guys.
Yeah, I mean that was the one thing. Like I said, we opened up the Facebook page, and a lot of people joined the group. We had some great interactions, and but yeah, like I mean, let's say it like it is. We found out, the hard way. Hey, you know what? It boils to a point, and at that point, no one else is coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was one of the reasons why we decided to kind of, I mean, I decided, hey, just take a step back, and like I said, with everything that happened with my computer, it was perfect timing for me to just, look back and you know, look around, and I think we both came to the same conclusion with our elite league migration.
Exactly. I mean, we're both running what 6 or 7 guys, 6 guys mostly on average in a league, and we're trying to compete in leagues with guys that got 25 plus.
Oh
And
yeah, it definitely weighs on us.
and it's discouraging, especially when you're trash talkers like we are, and nobody else trash talks.
Yeah, I mean that I think that was our goal when we started with this interfed, is to try and get a little more coordination out here, and
Bring
you know,
together.
oh yeah, bring everyone that, like I said, I've met some great people, along this path right now that we're going to try and bring to some of these elite leagues, and get some more trash talk going, and more than anything, work some angles, work some actual trash talk. I mean, I get it. There's a lot of what do you call it? Just attention grabbing trash talk, and I don't know how to word it, but
I
I
would
said,
call I would call a large percentage of it the "I'm better than you, I'm going to beat you" trash talk.
okay, yeah,
And
I mean,
that's all it is. It's I'm better than you and I'm gonna beat you, and in more words or less, but it's the
right.
same message in most of it, and there's no depth to it other than I'm better than you and I'm gonna beat you, and it gets old after a while.
Oh yeah, I mean that's that. I mean,
Especially if you're in one league and 10 guys are saying the same thing in different words.
right. I mean that's the one thing that I'm personally enjoying with the Generation Next League, and trying to build right here in the ASL, is coordinating the managers into different angles that are going to last more than 2 or 3 cycles. It's like, hey, let's work this up to a pay-per-view, and it's tough, brother. It really is.
It's a tough world, man. It's a tough world in the Imaginary Wrestling Association.
Oh yeah, man. But I think we got a good group of managers that that we're working with right now in the ASL, and in a couple other leagues. But if we can get back to some characters, and what we've done right now, I mean, obviously I migrated some of my cast to the MML. You went the other route. You decided to bring a whole new cast there. Who are you
Yeah,
running there?
my old guys just were getting stale on me, so I decided to kind of refresh. And when I saw Peter's report on Facebook, all the cartoon drawings and the way he does his report, I was really impressed with it. So I decided that I was going to join the ASL and that I was going to talk with Peter and see what kind of wrestlers he wanted me to bring, just and how we were going to do the graphics for it. If I was going to have to buy graphics or if I could come up with my own. And once he turned me on to a game that has images on it of cartoon wrestlers and whatnot, I went ahead and just started picking my own stuff out. I took a couple of pre-concepted wrestlers that he created right off the jump, like Overload and the Greek Gods.
Nice.
But then he showed me where he was getting some of his other images from, so I went in and picked out my own 3 out of that. So now I'm running Mount Crushmore, which is Overload, Hariyama Sumo-san, and Son of Uncle Sam. And they're a very interesting group because Son of Uncle Sam is the legitimate son to Uncle Sam. And this guy hates America because America took his dad from him when he was a kid. Uncle Sam was never at home with his son. He was always out on the road doing the political
The promotional propaganda.
Exactly, the "we want you" and all that. So he was never home, and so son of Uncle Sam despises America and wants to destroy everything that's American. And he's built a team for this by going and getting Hariyama Sumo-san, who is a sumo wrestler from Japan, whose grandparents were killed in the bombing of Hiroshima. So naturally, he's going to have some discrepancies with Americans as well. And then Overload, who is, portrayed after Earthquake, John Tenta, I mean. And he's from Canada, big guy, and he hates everything, even Canada. So son of Uncle Sam is going to be running roughshod over anybody who even looks like they might wear red, white, and blue.
Man.
Which is funny because son of Uncle Sam wears red, white, and blue, and he has the face paint on and everything. And I wrote in the trash talk, you want to know, I hate America. You want to know why I still wear the colors? So that way, they're like battle scars. I don't want to forget who did this to me,
Nice. Now, I mean, the ASL is, I mean, I'll say it like this. I mean, I know Peter's taken over it. It's moved its way up into the top 10. But in terms of angles and trash talk, it's still kind of molding itself. Is that safe to say?
Yes, trying to mold it still. There's still a lot of what we were talking about earlier. I'm better than you. I'm gonna beat you. Trash talk. We're trying to encourage people to put a little bit more creative thought into that. Some people are trying. Some people just don't care and just do their thing. At this point, everything I've been doing in the ASL has been to try to help support Peter reach his vision.
Right. I think I'm right around that same on that same boat. Like I said, I'm not there to do the report. Like I said, I had my shot at my report. Now I'm, my current IWA status is migrating through these elite leagues, and the ASL is being one of the top 10 ones. Definitely deserves a little more support. And like I said, someone like Peter, who does such a fantastic job already on the report, just to be able to get access to that creative genius it's been fun.
And you got to remember too, it's Frank Snow's league, and Frank Snow's, he's legendary in this game. So.
Oh yeah, I mean he brought over the DoD, and like I said, I'm just getting to know some of the older managers that were there, and some of the newer guys that have come in. So I think in these next couple of cycles we'll end up with a nice division there.
I think that 2019 is going to be a really good year for the ASL.
Now, obviously, I mean, there's a lot of changes coming. A lot of managers, like we know, come and go. Look at what happened with the MML. I mean, from one day to the next, what vision do you have for the ASL? I mean, I know you have your characters there now. Are you keeping them? I mean, obviously they're anti-American, but are you going to lean them towards? I'm trying to think of whether you're going to go through an individual angle or whether you're going to try and lean more towards one of the sides that's dividing up right now that the Duck has made his way there.
With the Mount Crushmore, since they're so anti-American, I'm going to play it by ear and see if anything slightly American comes across the trash talk. If it doesn't, then I'll just take matters into my own hands.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I had Big Marchand on here, and he's like, hey, you know what? If at some point or another, if you're not trash talking or if you're not playing with me, I'm playing by myself. And yeah, I don't want to start that. I don't start playing by myself around here.
It's not the preferred route, but at the same time, if we're trying to push for more creative trash talk and we're not getting it, then maybe that's what some of us should do, just to kind of put an example out there of what we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I heard with I mean, obviously in an at-large league, it's easy to get lost because there's a lot of movement and obviously way too much to track.
Absolutely.
But in a limit league, it's like that's I hate to say it this way, but if you're coming there, try and get yourself involved somehow, some way. I mean, I
Yeah,
get it, you know.
it's not hard. It's not hard at all. It's just like Mount Crushmore. I have them on standby waiting to screw up some Americans, but I've also got the Greek gods there. And, I was trying to work an angle with them with another guy and it kind of fell apart. But I wasn't, I got six guys there. I'm not just trying to run one angle with one guy. I have, my 6-man team, I have my tag team, and I have my singles wrestlers. So I'm prepared to run three separate angles. You know what I mean?
Now, in terms of the pay per view, I know we've been talking with Peter and Frank. Um, One of the things that I've been trying to do is trying to coordinate with Peter in terms of uh, how to get some different matches. But in some cases, it's hard because he has his own vision. So at the same time, without stepping on his vision, trying to involve our angles. And I don't know if you caught this recent ASL or event, those of you guys listening, but he did a great job of incorporating, I mean, he's done a great job of incorporating the Mount Crushmore and the Greek gods from the start. And, I just got there, and next thing you know, I'm looking around, and shoot, I mean, I got my guys all over the place, and just the way he incorporates things just amazes me.
Oh yeah, and I think he does it on purpose. He wants everybody to have something to see in the report. And that's the thing when you're a commissioner. You know all your managers are going to want to be in the spotlight somewhere somehow. And if you can incorporate more managers into your report in that way, I mean that's great. You know what I mean? You can only get so many people on the cover.
Oh yeah.
So if you can get two or three people on the cover this cycle and a bunch of people featured in the report, and then next cycle get two or three more people. I mean, it puts a spotlight on a lot of people, and I think a lot of managers like that because nobody likes to put money into a game and play a game and then just get ignored and act like you're not there.
Now, I mean that's one of the things when you were running the face off there in the MML. I mean, you had. I mean, I could have easily, any day picked up that bulletin and seen at least 6, 7, different managers, within your report.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that was the key. That was, let's get as many people involved in something so that everybody has something to look forward to. I am a manager. I'm a former commissioner, but I don't necessarily play the game for myself. I play it, to be entertaining to everybody around me.
Oh yeah, I mean that's one of the things that like I mentioned earlier, that's one of the things that I enjoy about your trash talking and the way you present it, the way shoot, I remember way back, 2000, what was it, 2012 with the AWL stuff, even when didn't have access to the technology, you found a way to involve,
Oh yeah, two page full text write-ups. They were awesome. I love doing that. I did not miss them days at all.
Oh man.
There was times I would write 2-page trash talks like in the NWL or the BRL, and like I would literally incorporate 60 wrestlers into the trash talk. I'd have everybody.
Oh, I remember. Oh yeah.
It was fun times.
Oh man.
Government issue driving tanks into people's houses and beating people up and leaving the one guy there so he can shit himself. I mean.
Oh yeah, government issue versus a Smith. That's the one that sticks in the back of my head.
The Smith family. Yeah, that was a good feud, man. It actually led to that manager contacting me via pen pal, and that's when we originally formed the GTA stable. The greatest team alive.
Man, that's taking me back, man. I've actually recently reached out to Chris Smith, and we're hoping to get him back in back in the game.
That'd be good, man. I know he loved it. I know his kids loved it too, man.
Oh yeah, like we keep mentioning, this game does have it has its addictive quality. So
the funny thing about that feud was we were graduating from the NWL, and we were going to the BRL, and the commissioners wanted to push us to keep our feud going, and we had been in contact with each other, and we didn't want to feud with each other anymore. We wanted to team up. We both liked the way we were writing our trash talks and stuff. So we ended up flipping the script on those guys the very next cycle when we came in and we had formed our stable. And weren't fighting each other no more. It was it was quite the experience. It was a fun time, man. Times have changed since then. It hadn't been that long.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I'm loving this new this recent comeback from the to the IWA, man. I really am. I mean, every turn I take, everything seems positive. I mean, yeah, there's a headbutt here and there, bro. I get it. Shit, I mean, I'm not expecting everybody to be fucking peas in a pod, but I do like where everyone's focused on, hey, let's keep this game moving forward. There's a lot of great leagues for whatever style you're playing. If you want to play, at large, there's a lot of leagues with a lot of incentives that'll let your fighters move up real. I mean, and let's say it like it is. I mean, if you're in the NSL, if you're in the HRL, you get to pad your records very fast. You can transfer those fighters out real quickly into, I don't want to call them a dead league, but in an at-large, in an at-large league and be in the top five and, get your shot at the U.S. or the world title if that's the way you want to play. Myself, I don't know. I want to play with this elite.
Yeah, well, the at-large players don't trash talk. They're not that creative when it comes to the angles and stuff, and that's where we excel at. So naturally, we're going to want to do that. But everybody plays the game they want. They pay their money. They can do that. I like the fact that leagues like HRL and NSL are helping to cater to those guys to give them a league that's better situated for those types of players. There's not much diversity in that, these days, and I'm glad to see it there.
Oh yeah, I mean, but personally, are you going to migrate to more of the elite leagues?
Oh, absolutely. I've pretty much already gone inactive in every league that's not elite. Now that I've got a lot more free time on my hands, I'm going to enjoy it for a little while. But I think once 2019 rolls around, you'll probably see me back into about 6 or 7 different leagues again.
Nice. Oh man, now like I tell people, I mean, I could talk IWA all afternoon, like I said, we could probably, stay on here a couple hours, man. But like I said, I don't want this to be one and done, especially not with you, brother.
Oh no, we'll be doing this often.
Oh yeah. Like I said, as soon as we get this ASL ball rolling a little more, like I said, I had the chance to bring on Frank Snow. Hopefully, I can get Peter on here to get his thoughts on air, and like I said, gather some more of these managers up, keep this ball rolling in the ASL.
Absolutely, man. And I'm loving the Interfed radio. I'm loving getting to hear all the different managers and finding out more about them and more about how they play the game. I think it's a great idea, man. This is awesome.
Oh no, man! Like I said, this is our baby, man. We'll keep this one moving for sure.
Absolutely.
All righty, man. You've been listening to Eric Bugg and IWA Flip here on Interfed Radio. You guys have a good one.